In Shandong province's Linyi city, an investment platform backed by the local government collapsed. On July 22nd, thousands of investors gathered at Shupai Yigou's headquarters to demand their money back. They were met with a harsh response from the police. Angry investors began throwing stones at both the police and the building, forcing the officers to scatter. A video shared online shows thousands of people gathered outside the building, with a large number of police officers and special forces forming a human barricade to block the crowd. The police used high-pressure water cannons to spray people and even knocked down one man. This led to the crowd throwing stones at the police. Some of the men in the crowd asked the police, "What is your police department doing? Are you here to solve the problem?" A woman questioned the police, "Are you here to suppress us? Have we broken the law?" Another video showed police officers starting to arrest people, with several officers lifting one man and putting him into a black police vehicle. The crowd threw stones at the police, who quickly ducked for cover. The protester chanted, "Hit, hit." The glass doors of the building had already been shattered by the angry crowd. According to social media reports, on July 22nd, Shupai Yigou completely collapsed. About 5,000 investors arrived at the company headquarters to demand their money back. There were reports of burning contracts and smashing the company's doors and windows. Local authorities in Linyi deployed a large number of police officers to the scene. By the morning of July 23rd, the police had already set up a perimeter to prevent people from gathering. That day, numerous special police vehicles were seen on the streets of Linyi. By 3 p.m., social media users filmed scenes of heavily guarded special police vehicles and officers still stationed outside Shupai Yigou's headquarters. Public records show that Shupai Yigou was a digital economy platform heavily promoted by the Linyi city government. It had a core strategy of integrating digital and real economies. The company had government backing and collaborated with the local government and Linyi University to develop a digital industrial park. Previously, several government officials, including from the Ministry of Public Security, had publicly supported Shupai Yigou. On April 30th, 2025, Linyi's government issued a document. After investigations by multiple agencies, Shupai Yigou was not involved in telecom fraud, illegal fundraising, or pyramid schemes. However, some users pointed out that the platform used shopping rebates and investment and wealth management as a cover. It attracted participants by offering high commissions. They promised annual returns exceeding 365% and paid returns to old users with funds from new users. In reality, this was a Ponzi scheme, no different from a pyramid scheme. Warnings about the collapse had already appeared, with many users on the mainland's Black Cat complaints platform recently reporting issues such as withdrawal requests being rejected and customer service becoming unresponsive. There are reports online suggesting that Shupai Yigou's collapse might involve around 60 billion yuan. The platform has attracted hundreds of thousands of investors, including many elderly individuals. At the protest site, some elderly people were seen holding chemotherapy payment slips while demanding their money back. Overseas users have commented, saying government business collusion, they're all the same. They took the money and ran, and they're directly squeezing the hard-earned money of the people. As China's economy continues to decline, protests over financial issues seem to occur almost every day. On July 22nd, in Jinjiang, Fujian, workers from the X-Step factory marched with banners to demand unpaid wages. At the city government building, special police formed a human wall to confront the workers. On July 21st in Qingdao, Shandong, workers at the Qingdao City Operation Control Group had not been paid for nearly 8 months. At a departmental training meeting, a female employee led a strike to demand wages, but was taken away by special police. On July 19th in Shanghai, investors involved in the Qianyi Lu funding scheme protested after it collapsed. On July 7th, hundreds of contractors from various counties in Henan province gathered in front of China Telecom's Henan branch. They protested against the company's unfair terms, but they were suppressed by the police. One contractor revealed that there were about 300 to 400 people participating. Authorities deployed dozens of police officers to surround them. There was a physical confrontation, and some contractors were beaten and taken away. The trigger of the protest was China Telecom's Henan branch trying to seize the network assets built by the contractors without compensation. On July 20th, employees of the Xi'an Jinghua Group's Yajian golf course gathered in the rain outside the company to protest unpaid wages. On July 18th, in Dawa District, Panjing, Liaoning Province, government officials secretly took fishing boats that villagers had stored at the dock. When villagers caught them in the middle of the night, they stopped the theft. The next day, the local government deployed over 100 police officers and officials to forcefully take the boats, but the villagers managed to stop them. During this, a villager questioned the police, saying, "Are you, the Communist Party or the Nationalist Party, coming here to steal in the middle of the night?" On the following day, authorities sent over 100 police officers to the village to forcibly seize the boats, claiming it was law enforcement on illegal boats. However, the villagers said the boats had been stored at the dock and had not been used, so they were not violating any laws. Apart from protests over money, an increasing number of Chinese citizens are rising up to fight for their children's safety. On the evening of July 20th, in Tianshui City, Gansu Province, parents of children poisoned by lead gathered in front of the government office in Maiji District and at the Brownstone Mansion community, where Peixing Kindergarten is located. Special police were deployed to suppress the protest, and several parents were beaten and arrested. The parents were furious and clashed with the police, surrounding the police cars while chanting, "Release the people." Another video showed the parents blocking Chengji East Road in protest against the police's actions. Earlier that day, 2 parents had been beaten and taken away by the police for protesting the government's manipulation of test results and forcing parents to sign agreements. At Brownstone Peixing Kindergarten at Tianshui City, many children have been experiencing symptoms such as nausea, diarrhea, leg pain, and hair loss since March of this year. As of 12 p.m. on July 20th, 247 out of 251 children at the kindergarten were found to have excessive lead levels in their blood, and 28 staff members also showed elevated lead levels. On July 20th, the Gansu provincial government issued a report, which shifted the blame to medical institutions in an attempt to resolve the matter. This led to dissatisfaction among the parents. The investigation report by the Gansu Provincial Committee continued to blame the lead poisoning on kitchen staff at the kindergarten, saying they used painted dyes in making cakes. While many people pointed to pollution from a state-owned lead-zinc mine as the cause, the official report denied this. Online discussions raised questions, but these were quickly removed. Chinese media personality Geng Yan criticized the investigation, calling it narrow in scope, focusing only on the kindergarten itself and not on nearby businesses or the environment. He questioned the thoroughness of the investigation, saying, "They only tested inside the kindergarten and did not extend the search to the entire city for potential lead sources. According to what I know, there are many non-ferrous metal processing factories and storage stations around Tianshui that should have been thoroughly checked." Researcher Shen Mingshi at Taiwan's National Defense and Security Research Institute stated that whether the children's lead poisoning was caused by dyes added to their food or pollution from nearby lead mines, it reflected the low environmental awareness among the public in China. He also pointed to the local government's negligence and corruption. They ignored environmental and public health issues, resorting to deception when problems arose. Shen Mingshi further argued that the Chinese government's credibility is very low, and since China lacks truly independent third-party institutions or environmental groups, it's difficult to achieve fairness. Chinese affairs expert Wang He highlighted that the pollution caused by mining is shocking, but since the Baiyin Group, a state-owned enterprise, is highly influential and profitable in the region, local governments are likely to protect it. He mentioned that many details remain undisclosed. Lead-zinc mines are considered part of strategic minerals by the Chinese Communist Party. According to the CCP's official definition, strategic minerals are resources of significant importance for the security and economic development of the regime, typically scarce and critical for military industry and defense equipment. China is the world's largest producer of lead and zinc. On July 1st, the CCP revised the Mineral Resources Law to officially classify lead and zinc as strategic minerals. This is not the first lead poisoning incident in Gansu. In April 2006, more than 200 people in Wujiahe village suffered from lead poisoning due to wastewater. The wastewater came from 2 lead smelting factories. However, because it was part of a government investment project, the case was ultimately left unresolved. In late August to September 2006, a lead poisoning incident in Shuiyang Township, Gansu Province, affected over 2,000 villagers. The responsible company was the Gansu Huishan lead ingots smelting plant, which was only ordered to cease production and relocate afterward. In July and August 2009, there were 2 lead poisoning incidents in Hunan's Wugang City, affecting dozens of children. Another in Shanxi's Fengshan County affected more than 600 children. The authorities eventually dealt with the responsible companies, including Shanxi Donglin Group's lead-zinc smelting plant and Wugang City's manganese processing factory, both of which were privately owned. Chinese state-owned enterprises have also sparked concerns over pollution from their lead-zinc mining projects abroad. In May of this year, of Dalai County in Indonesia called for China Non-Ferrous Metal Construction Company to halt its investment in the Dalai zinc and lead mine. There is widespread skepticism about the explanation that lead poisoning at the kindergarten was caused by using painted dyes in cakes. Many ask why the kindergarten didn't use legal, cheaper food coloring. A user commented, "Why did the medical and disease control systems completely fail? Why did regulators turn a blind eye for so many years?" Regarding the official claim that painted dyes were used for cakes, netizens expressed disbelief. How much sugar would you need to mask the bitterness of the dye? Do you think children are fools? And which dye on the market contains that much lead? After the lead poisoning incident broke, authorities ordered medical institutions in Tianshui and Gansu province to falsify the children's blood tests. They also sent people across provinces to maintain stability, suppressing parents who were forced to go to other provinces for testing and medical care, and pressuring medical institutions in other provinces. Lead poisoning causes irreversible physical harm to growing children, particularly intellectual damage. However, other than claiming to reduce medical fees, there have been no reports of compensation for the victims. On July 19th, the father who had been vocal about the Tianshui incident was eventually fired by his employer after prolonged pressure from the government. In desperation, he had to switch to a job as a delivery worker to support his family. Previously, he had expressed a mixture of emotions and uncertainty about the future. Two other parents who had been continuously updating their children's condition on social media also stopped posting updates on July 15th. Meanwhile, as the Tianshui lead poisoning case gained attention, on July 13th, multiple netizens reported that several students at Wenhai's second experimental school in Hangzhou began experiencing nosebleeds after moving into a new school building around September 2024. Parents stated that over the past year, these students had developed nosebleeds, rhinitis, a recurring sensation of a foreign object in their throat, and dry coughs. These symptoms worsened significantly after moving into the new campus. Children often reported smelling a pungent odor on the playground, with dizziness worsening after physical activity. Parents suspected that the illness might be related to emissions from a nearby factory located just across the wall from the school. Some parents reported smelling the strong odor while picking up their children after school. However, authorities in Hangzhou's Qiantang district claimed that the investigation concluded that factory emissions did not exceed standards. This statement sparked dissatisfaction among parents. On July 19th, a video shared online showed parents gathering at the school gate, demanding an explanation. Tensions escalated, and the situation got out of control. Authorities deployed a large number of police officers to violently suppress the protest, and some parents were dragged into vans by both uniformed and plainclothes police officers. Australian historian Li Yuanhua stated that the CCP handles major social issues with a focus on covering up mistakes rather than uncovering the truth. He emphasized that the CCP cannot accept independent third-party investigations because it wants to hide the most basic facts in order to reach conclusions that favor itself. This is why many netizens and the public do not trust its investigation reports. Recently, there has been a rise in heat stroke-related deaths due to extreme temperatures in China. At Hubei Jingzhou Technical College, a student who was required to participate in the school's recruitment activities tragically died from heat stroke. The family has been protesting for several days, but they've been suppressed by the authorities. On July 5th, a video emerged showing several family members crying and lying on the ground in the school's campus. Some family members argued with school management, and one family member even held onto a staff member's leg. One family member said, "The person had been dead for 3 days, and no one has come to handle the situation." On the outer wall of the building, 2 banners reading Jingzhou Technical College South Campus Exam Center indicated that the incident occurred at the South Campus. Subsequent videos showed school personnel leaving the scene, and CCP police arriving. That the vocational school had required a large number of students to participate in summer recruitment activities, and one student died from heat stroke. When parents went to the school to protest, they were dragged and forced out by the school staff, with the police arriving soon after to maintain stability and suppress the parents. Netizens expressed frustration, saying that under CCP rule, the common people's lives are treated as worthless. One netizen shared a video on X, commenting, "China has entered a state of upside-down logic. Those who owe wages don't go to jail, but those who demand their wages do. Those who forcibly demolish homes don't go to jail, but those who defend their homes do. Those who are corrupt don't go to jail, but those who demand officials disclose their wealth do. Those who create unjust cases don't go to jail, but lawyers defending rights do. Those who make toxic food don't go to jail, but those who expose the truth do. Those who embezzle billions don't go to jail, but the ones who report on Weibo do." From July 18th to 21st, during the Guangzhou Firefly Animation Expo, authorities deployed a large number of police officers and security personnel, setting up roadblocks and checkpoints, even equipping officers with rifles. Police also installed facial recognition devices in hotels and deployed a large number of officers. Many cosplayers, due to their makeup and costumes, couldn't pass the facial recognition system and were unable to return to their hotels. Instead, they were forced to wait outside until the police were off duty. On July 2nd, 2 trains collided in Jinhua, Zhejiang Province. The accident trapped passengers inside for several hours. Many passengers began showing signs of discomfort, and a video of a young man smashing a window to help others went viral online, with the man being hailed as a hero. His actions sparked political associations, with many comparing the train situation to the current state of Chinese society. Under long-term CCP oppression, eventually someone will not stand the pressure and rise up. Soon, state media published multiple articles attempting to put out the fire, fearing it would inspire more people to follow suit. Famous former Chinese media figure Luo Changping posted on X and shared the video. He stated, "The K1373 passenger train is a huge metaphor. This video fully recreates the scene before and after the young man in black smashed the window. By smashing that window, everyone could breathe the fresh air of freedom."